Put down thy vote!
You heard the rest. Now here's the best. Stay Tuned Sports Podcast with Jimbo and O'Brien.
And yes, welcome back, everybody, to this new year to Stay Tuned Sports.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you're over your Giovanni Clowny respiratory infection or whatever it was.
No, knock it off. We have a great show today. We have breaking news. We have a special in-house guest interview with the Sasquatch. I mean, Allentown.
Yes, we have Allentown back here. How you doing, brother?
All right, how are you guys?
How you feeling, buddy?
Like Sasquatch.
Well, folks, I know you guys missed Allentown, so we brought our boy back. We're glad that he's here, and
we're hoping to have him a little bit more of a regular than every 6-month type.
yeah, we're trying to bring him in as a third correspondent here.
They need some help with the show, people. That's what's
Right.
going on. They need some help.
Well,
Now,
folks, I
but
don't want to.
the only thing is, if we do bring Allen in, we're not getting rid of Juan. So Juan, you don't have to worry about getting fired or anything like that.
He's not here today.
Damn it, we fired him already?
No,
Oh, okay.
he has a upper respiratory illness.
It must be going around, I guess.
All right, he had too many tacos on Taco Tuesday. But hate to start off the show with some bad news, but it's been out for a couple days now. David Stern, former commissioner of the NBA, has passed away at 77 years old. So I'd like to take a moment to have a real moment. I know we like to laugh and have jokes.
He was the commissioner of the league when it was a real basketball league. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's how, we did report that's how he had his first aneurysm, was because he realized the NBA sucks so bad.
It sucks, all right.
But
I mean, the funny, not a funny thing, but the weird thing is he was able to be the commissioner when Michael Jordan came in, retired, and was also there when LeBron got drafted.
Right.
He got to overlook the NBA when two of the greatest basketball players ever to play.
to me, in my opinion, one of the greatest commissioners of any league.
Yeah.
He really did run the NBA the proper way. I'm heartfelt. My heart goes out to his family. I know he was 77, but it's still never easy to take.
Yeah.
At least he got to have a longer life. That's my thoughts on him. You guys want to weigh in and say anything on him, and then we'll have a moment of silence.
I mean, when I was, reading the article when he passed away on ESPN, the one thing that stood out to me, like really big, that how he contributed to the NBA, was that the television deal. He took a game that was a $10 million per year organization, basically, to roughly a $900 million a year. I mean,
Right.
that's what, like 900% or whatever. I mean, type
Carry the two.
yeah,
Something like that.
divided by 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, he was very, very big for NBA, and
I don't know how long Alan's going to stay on the show. He's supposed to be our mathematician.
yeah.
The only thing I can add to all of that and go on with what you were saying was I'm old enough, I'm going to age myself here, but I'm old enough to remember when the NBA championship was on tape delay.
Yeah.
On CBS, you'd get it at 11:30 at night. He switched that to make that prime time,
Right.
Which I
Yeah,
think
smart
is he
decision.
brought the NBA into the forefront, which is a fantastic.
And if you
thing.
think of all the stars, true stars, in my opinion, that played under him when basketball was basketball, like, I know they played for their teams, but as the commissioner, he really did a great job. So,
Yeah.
Again, my heart goes out to the family. I can't imagine what they're going through. The world has definitely lost a great man. And with that being said, I'd like to take a moment of silence.
Yep.
All right. So with that being said, I would like to say that we're going to have a great show today, actually. We have a lot of... What?
We interrupt this program with breaking news. This just in. Moments ago. We now go live to our reporter.
Rexton tells all here. Sad news in the NBA. But with that being said, there's a special interview with Paul Kennedy from Tampa Bay Lightning Broadcasting. Let's take it to Paul.
As you are aware, yesterday the sporting world lost Gary Bettman, the most significant commissioner perhaps of our lifetime. Leading the NBA for 30 years, he dies at the age of 77. Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, was his associate when Mr. Bettman arrived in the NHL in 1994 and has served this league since. It is a personal loss for Gary, and he says, I am extremely saddened at this. David taught me how to be a commissioner and, more importantly, how to try and be a good person. David will be missed terribly, especially by his wife, Diane, his sons, Andrew and Eric, all of whom have Shelley and my deepest condolences. Gary Bettman leaves us at 77, a legendary commissioner in professional sport.
Rexton tells Hall back. I guess the breaking news is we're going to check Paul Kennedy for aneurysm or a stroke. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Rexington.
What the
yeah.
fuck was that?
I mean,
at least he said David 3 times towards the end.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, he said David because he said with Gary Bettman's statement.
Right.
and that's
Talking about David.
that was the funny part. Like when I heard or watched the video, I'm like, man, Gary Bettman's pretty talented to write from the grave his own statement.
Right. But about David, it was like he's Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
So
the
I mean,
NHL in a warm state for you.
Maybe he's been drinking the pond hockey water.
so I mean, the only thing that we have to ask Paul Kennedy from Stay Tuned Sports
Do
is
you smell burnt toast?
one, well, that, and one simple question.
You're not really that stupid, are you?
Because I really think he is. Now, moving on.
I just don't understand how that happens.
Well, and
And how they let it keep going and that's not erased.
yeah, that
Right.
and because there was a co-host there as well, and about halfway through it, the co-host caught on to what he was saying, and even was like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Yeah, he's over there doing the
Abort! You know? And he's
Slicing
just,
of the throat.
yeah.
Well, it's sad. We might lose Rexton to hockey broadcasting now because even he wouldn't make that mistake.
So
Well, at least he didn't say Jason Bateman, the actor.
that would have been funny.
No Gary Thorpe.
Jesus.
So,
Well, we don't want to
to
make load of it, but let Stay Tuned Sports got your back, folks.
Yeah.
The commissioner that died was David Stern,
Yes,
as previously stated. So we got your back.
and and back to kind of being serious. Like once again, we offer our condolences to his family and everything like that. Moving on. College football. The championship game is the 13th, this coming Monday. Well, my playoff bracket is fucking toast.
Yeah. So whose prediction was right?
So, Alan, in case you didn't hear, I took Ohio State versus LSU for the playoffs. In my defense, that was a fumble. The guy took four.
No. Your pick was a fumble.
The guy took 4 steps with the ball in his hand, got stripped, boop, incomplete pass, clear as day.
Well, you're talking like a true Buckeye, huh?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what the hell he was watching.
But you know what? The one thing I've learned.
He was also watching the game with Whiskey, his best buddy. So
Yeah. No, that's why I was seeing double balls. Oh wait.
well, that's because you were looking between your legs again.
That's why you're saying 4 steps instead of 2.
Yeah.
But you know, the one thing I've learned from college football this year and the NFL, and kind of take a quote from Dana White with the UFC, he always says to his fighters, "Don't leave it in the judge's hands. Finish the game.
Right.
Just play." With college and NFL, play. Don't make the refs call bad calls.
Ohio State was who I thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be
But
honest.
they didn't let him off the hook. I predicted Clemson was going to win. Clemson
Yeah.
was no joke. And I don't think it's going to be as close as people think when it comes to playing LSU.
I could see the first half just for TV ratings and everything like that. First half, LSU blowing them out. Not necessarily how LSU blew out Oklahoma. Jesus freaking Christ. But making a comeback in the second half to make it, quote, a game. I'm still going to go, I went with Ohio State, but I'm going with LSU. I know it was
I think it's
Oklahoma.
going to be tough. I think LSU has a real shot. It's tough for me to pick, but my heart still lays with Clemson.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they can do it.
How do you count? There's the only thing I can add to all of this is how do you count Clemson out 29 in a row? I know their schedule is their schedule.
Yeah.
But
They got
they're
the
last
Bama.
team to really whoop Alabama when Alabama was good
Yeah.
and had everybody. We don't have to hear the excuses of this one was hurt or we didn't have this receiver or that. They whooped Alabama last year. Whooped them in the playoffs.
No, I
They have. I
but
like
that
Joe
was last
Burrow.
year.
Joe Burrow. It's just what have they done this year? They haven't lost, have they?
But who they
Ohio
play?
State was going to whoop. They just beat Ohio State, who everybody
Oh,
said
one
was
team.
absolutely
One
the
team.
best team
Oh,
in the
here we go.
country. Who everybody just said was absolutely the best team in the country. They should have been number one. They got whooped.
no, I mean,
Clemson dominated that game.
yeah, no, I agree with with your.
Oh, good. Do
Clemson.
you agree? So we should feel safer? I got
Exactly.
one word for you. This is why Clemson has a chance. You ready, folks? Here is the key to the game. Trevor Lawrence.
It's the best quarterback going.
Besides Burrow. I mean, Burrow's good. I'm not
Burrow's
gonna cut
good,
him
but
down.
Trevor Lawrence is
But he's been
complete
proving himself.
stud.
I will give Lawrence that. I thought last year was a just a magical season for him, and he'd come in this year and have like a step back.
Didn't have a step back.
But no, he didn't.
He beat Alabama as a true freshman, people.
Yeah. But we seen with the Eagles though too.
I have a question.
when you're playing without any care.
I have a
in a
question when his question's done.
And I have a question for all
So
three.
if Trevor Lawrence was available for the draft this year, who goes number one?
Joe Burrow.
I don't know.
I beg to differ on that one.
Yeah. That's tough to
Joe
say.
Burrow's a one-year wonder.
Yeah.
Right. That's all,
You know, what did he do
we're
last
going off
year,
your
Joe
predecessor
Burrow?
then.
No, last year.
And don't get me
he
wrong,
was
I
okay.
think Joe Burrow is very good.
Yeah.
But if Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow were there right now,
I'd go with Lawrence.
I might have to go Lawrence too.
He's more proven, more tested, and less weapons. Burrow's a one season, and LSU's team is stacked right now.
Yeah.
So now to my question on this whole thing to you, Jimbo, is: Are you smelling burnt toast?
I mean, my face feels like it's drooping a little bit,
Right.
but
You have to be taking a stroke because you're starting to sound like the other announcer with this topic, bud.
What other announcer? Me?
are you smelling?
Oh, wait, do you smell burnt toast?
I'm smelling burnt.
I'm starting to smell it.
No,
No, the same idiot that screwed up the David Stern thing because his comments right now on Lawrence are about as crazy.
I know that.
So
I agree.
I will. I gotta tell this though about the LSU game. That game I did tune in to watch. When it got to 21-14, where they both kind of went back and forth for that first quarter or whatever, and then the wife wanted to watch a movie with the boys, so I was like, all right, I'll just follow it on my phone. And I forget what movie we were watching, but halfway through the movie, I'm like, oh shit, that's right, the game. Halftime 49-7, I'm like, or 49-14. I'm like, what the
Oklahoma
fuck happened?
had no business being in
Yeah.
that game.
And you know what? For everybody that bashed, I've seen this a couple times too, bashed Notre Dame last year that should never been in the playoff talk and this and that. At least we played 4 quarters. We lost that game halfway through the third
hold on a
quarter.
second. You're definitely smoking something.
You're saying,
They had no business being in it. Every time that team with the gold helmet
yeah,
sticks their foot in the deep end,
Yeah.
they get smoked. Stick to the shallow end. No,
Yo,
no.
Miss-
alrighty, we're gonna go to commercial break.
Mr. Clemson is
Stick to the shallow end.
Mr. Clemson's
Stick
you
to
know,
playing
no
the
one- no
Valley
one could-
Wests of the world.
I really
compete with them.
think that
Notre
Georgia,
Dame.
with the performance they put in against Ohio State, would have been a better fit for the playoffs
Yeah,
than Oklahoma.
yeah. I never liked Oklahoma.
Who'd you
as
say,
a pick.
Georgia?
Yeah.
I agree. Georgia
Yeah.
would have. Even with that second loss, or Alabama, they were definitely better
Well,
teams than
Bama,
Oklahoma. Bama was hurt, but they still probably would have put up a better
Yeah, I think
competition.
Georgia would have.
So, I mean-
Oklahoma plays that Big 12. They have no defense.
Right.
None. That conference has none.
So, I mean, comes down to LSU and Clemson. Again, my heart's with Clemson, and again, my heart is with Clemson.
And then Carter also took LSU
LSU. He's a big LSU
because
fan.
of the
And
receivers.
then midway
was
through the
it?
game, the kid will take Clemson.
That's how my youngest one is.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when we go to Baby Pens. Who are you rooting for? Oh, the Hershey Bears because I don't like the Pens. Pens are up 2-0. Yeah, let's go Pens.
So I got a funny story with that. I go to a hockey game on Saturday with the young one, and two guys sitting behind us, and the guy's like, got my house on LSU. And my 8-year-old turns to him and goes, I got my money on Clemson, boys.
I thought that was funny. Stop making fun of him, Rexington.
Let me tell you.
No, because I know his son well, and I could just picture his face and his demeanor.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it would have been like the Jedi death trick. Because he would have been like,
You got to see his face.
shout out to Maddie, baby. Maddie Ice.
You can't count Clemson out until they get beat.
Right. I think it's going to be a good. Let's think about it. Were they not counted out against Alabama in the championship game?
Yes, they were.
And I believe the point spread was bigger for that game.
And that's why I think this is going to be a good game.
Right.
Because, it's only a 5.
How can you say they don't belong?
I didn't say Clemson doesn't belong. I said Alabama doesn't belong, but Oklahoma didn't belong either.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But you're making it sound like LSU's going to rout Clemson.
It should be. It should be. No, I don't think it's going to be.
Now here's the only stat that's. Well, I mean, since I'm giving the kiss of death to LSU, here's another stat too. Out of the 5 years that the playoff, the favorite has been 2-3. LSU's favorite right now, so if they go by the stats, they're fucked.
And that gives Clemson even more incentive. They've had a chip on their shoulder since midway through the season when they were number 1 and got dropped to 4. And even when the BCS came out, they weren't even in the top 4. They had cruddy Penn State ahead of them.
That's, me and him were arguing about that, 2-3 weeks in a row.
That just put Dabo Sweeney, gives them more fuel. The guy's the biggest.
He's my new Nick Saban. I still can't stand Saban.
How can you not like Dabo Sweeney? All he does is get these kids fired up.
He's a I like him. Yeah,
let's go LSU.
I like
Give it to the hands of God. Everything's great.
I don't know what y'all talking about, but home is
Dang man. So all right, so I'm going LSU. You got Clemson. You got Clemson.
Clemson, baby.
And I like LSU. I do. I think
right. And I have no ill will towards LSU.
Yeah,
I'm just going with my heart on this one. I'm not going with any kind of statistical or what I truly believe. I'm going with my heart.
Yeah, I just think offensively,
Clemson did bigger games than Clemson over the last 5 years.
Clemson did produce the best football player that ever existed, so I can't go wrong.
Fred Barnett.
No. No. Brian Dawkins. That's right. I'm not smelling
I'm smelling toast.
Brian Dawkins is one of the most influential players in the NFL that's ever played. Hardest hitting. I'm not going to go over his stats. He produced him. They produced Deshaun Watson. They produced a lot of great players.
Oh, okay.
His
son is close to
the U of the
being
of the 90s. They're the U of the 90s. Producing these NFL players all the time.
Minus the cocaine.
Hey, well, minus the fun stuff, I guess.
Colombian Bam Bam. Well, to the U's, defense, they were close to Columbia.
Moving on. So, Alan, when XFL came out and announced they're actually going to go through. Never mind. There's my answer for my question.
No.
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about the XFL coming out first off?
I hope it makes it like I was into the AFL last year. I thought some of those games.
It's hashtag AFFA.
Yeah,
AFFA.
There we go.
American Football Alliance.
American Football.
But we're still trying to get AFFA to trend on Twitter.
Yeah. Did you guys see the rules that came out yesterday?
Yes, and
they're pretty nifty. I mean,
okay. I think they are too. I think some of them are pretty cool. There's one or two that I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
But let's tell the folks what they are.
The kickoff one to me is a little crazy. The kicker's going to kick from the 35.
Yes.
But the team's going to line up from the 30.
Yes. And
they're going to get down there way before the ball.
No,
the ball will beat them down there.
It's giving the receiver a chance to run it out more.
When
they're giving a 5 more yard cushion.
Well, and here's the thing too is no one moves kickoff or returner blockers until it's caught. Once it's caught, then they could go and smash each other.
Oh, that's the rule. Right?
So that's
that's going to be a little weird.
It's going to be all.
Actually, I think the kicking team has the advantage.
How many penalties are you going to
Well, yeah, I would think the kicking team.
Well, I think they want to have a league where they're going to score 50 points a game. They
Oh,
want
yeah.
people to be excited.
They
don't
already
want defensive battles.
Well, I will say that I've been wanting the NFL to move the kick back again. I'm sick of all the touchbacks. I want to see kick returns.
Well, they're talking about injuries. They don't want people.
Yeah, injury schminjury. You're paid millions.
And that's the one thing that the XFL commissioner said. We are still taking
Injuries
into consideration, but we want more runbacks. We want more explosiveness. We want more
Exciting
offense.
plays.
So the XFL will be fun to watch, but how good would it be when I heard the quarterbacks that are there this year?
Well, you got to start somewhere.
I know. I don't know.
I mean, local boys.
McGloin will be there.
McGloin is playing.
Okay, let's get off the quarterbacks because he's going to bring up some asshole I don't want to talk about. That should be.
No.
Oh,
I'm not gonna bring
yeah,
that.
don't bring up Nick Foles. He's still a little sour about him being benched at
Bench
Jacksonville.
to a rookie.
For a sixth-round rookie, nonetheless.
Still won that Lombardi.
Yes, he did.
Hey, do you think Nick Foles and Carson Wentz will polish their Lombardis together? Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Why? Wentz has it. He was on the team.
He was on the team.
He got us there.
Oh, I'll tell you what. He kept the players hydrated.
Well, yeah, he had a part.
You wanted to bring up Nick Foles, asshole.
So, getting back to the XFL rules, how do you feel about the one rule that they're going to the college 1 foot in possession?
Great. Cool.
Cool rule. The other rule that I like there, I sort of get it. There's no kickers in the game. They kick the kickers out.
There's
so your extra,
no extra
points are
points.
1 point from 1 yard, a 2-point play from 3 yards, and a 3-point play from 10 yards.
Yeah.
You have to go for it. Now, in overtime, each team gets 5 downs for 5 plays.
Yeah.
Each team gets 5 plays, and whoever scores the most on those 5 plays, and they had the commissioner on. I was listening to a radio show today. They had the commissioner on from the league, and he said what they want to do. They have a 3-hour window.
His name wasn't Bateman, was it?
What's that?
That commissioner wasn't Bateman, was it?
No, it was the cool Bateman. No, it wasn't Bateman.
That almost went. Wait, stop. Pump the brakes.
He made me lose my train of thought.
Wait a
I was doing some good reporting right there. He said that they have a 3-hour window. They want overtime to be no more than 10 minutes.
Yeah. They're
They're
hoping.
to get plays, so it's all no kicking. It's all down to you get 5 plays. Each team gets 5 plays.
Right.
You score.
Well, I'll tell you what. I like that idea. It's not too bad, but I've always fond of the college overtime rules. I wish the NFL would adapt that.
Yeah. And one of the other rules I do like is the constant running of the game clock. Incomplete pass, game clock is still moving. So they're figuring at most
they have
without
3 hours. There's no over. They're advertisers. They're
3 hours. Well, 3 hours
window. That's it.
3 hours with overtime, but they're
overtime.
hoping 2 hours 45 minutes.
45 minutes to be done.
Only instead of like 20-minute halftime shows for NFL, 10 minutes. That's it. Get them in and out. I kind of like that.
I found out some interesting information. Some like that Johnson, Josh Johnson, quarterback. He's signed with them. He had a lot of offers this year from the NFL because of all the quarterbacks that got hurt. But once you sign with the XFL, you're not allowed to go. Now after the championship game in April.
Well, yeah.
After the championship game in April, I heard this straight out of the commissioner's mouth. After the championship game in April, they're available to make rosters and do everything. But if it's during the season and you've already signed your deal
I agree with that.
But he signed a specific one with the XFL.
Supposedly what he said is any deal. If you sign with the XFL, you cannot go to the NFL till your contract is up. That's the rule.
And I think it helps save the league then because you're not getting players taken, and I think he gives the XFL coaches a real chance to know what their roster is.
Well, and he would be, think about it, Judge Johnson's probably one of the names that they're looking to go off because he was a decent quarterback.
Let's just hope the league doesn't fold and there's not people waiting at the airport to get home.
Dude, that's
like Afafa, and their health insurance doesn't disappear.
That was bad.
Well, how about that? It was right before play. I mean, I just got in and everything. We're about to see the playoffs. And then there was no league.
Yeah. And they were, like he said, they were sitting in the airport because the teams were supposed to pay for the planes home. There was no money. They had to pull money out of their own pocket to fly home. It's a shame. Now,
Mr. Johnson, we found you a flight. Are you allergic to gorillas?
Huh?
Why's that? Well, we have a spot, but it's next to Jabango. the American gorilla in the cockpit. What?
Now,
God damn it!
the one thing that XFL has going for them, I mean, we're bashing the NFL for their refs and
Which were terrible again in the playoffs.
NCAA for their refs. We have Dean Damblino, whatever his name is, actually consulting the XFL of how the rules should go.
Oh,
so we should be good.
Yeah, he's doing so great with the
I was
NFL.
going to say, he's like the biggest crook of them all.
Yeah.
I don't want to change the subject too quick, but for me, I don't know how your guys feel, but not because I'm an Eagles fan or, there was plenty of playoff calls this week in the wild card round that were just heinous.
Yeah.
One that stands out the most, though.
One, maybe two.
Yeah.
One is
was
obviously
a
going to be
game.
Saturday
Cost
game.
the team the game.
Which
That
one?
would be the Minnesota
Saints?
and Saints.
No, that was Sunday game,
Oh.
and very happy for that outcome.
Well, please
Well, yeah, screw
relay
the
your
Saints.
message.
The Buffalo game on the kick
Okay.
return. That was no broke back block or whatever they called it.
Oh,
he hit
okay.
the guy straight up, perfect block, and they called that. They lost them in the game.
Well, I think of that one.
Well,
I think of
That was blatant.
That didn't lose them the game. Josh Allen lost the game for them.
No, they score there, they win that game, and they.
but
call
I
it
also
back.
think Josh Allen is the reason they're in the playoffs.
Yes.
I mean,
So I
he's
can't-
young. He's going to get better, but I mean, he got him there. But that really did.
I'll tell you
Watch
what.
that play again. It was a kickoff return all the way,
Yeah.
touchdown. That's 7. That's 6 points off the board.
Yeah.
They win that game.
I'll tell you what.
But
I do like Josh Allen, but I think I watched pretty much the whole game. I don't know how much of the game you guys watched, but when he scrambled out to the right, I think it was definitely the second half because that's when he had his collapse.
Yeah, when it went to the 3rd and 34 instead of 3rd.
And then he started running around the right, and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna pitch it backwards." Do you remember this?
Yeah.
I mean, just like a last play of the game type pitch. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like he had 10, 15 yards, and he was about to get tackled, and he wanted 5 more yards or whatever, and just not even look. It was a no look, just like that.
Well, rookie mistakes.
And yeah, I mean, this was second year. I think the Bills finally have their quarterback. Not saying he's going to be Tom Brady, but he's not
Who
going
the
to
hell
be.
wants to be Tom Brady?
I mean, he's got the money.
Where's
He's got
his
the wife.
I've seen better.
Are you smelling burnt toast?
No, but my left side of my face feels really funny. It's really weird how it's happened. Holy shit. We're not making light of that, folks. It's just a joke.
So XFL starts the week after
After
the Super Bowl,
8th.
February 8th. I'm excited. I think it's actually going to be.
It's football.
Yeah, but you know
Well,
what?
I think
Everybody,
the best chance it has is that it's on a real network.
that's
What's
where
it
the
on? NBC.
NBC,
No.
ABC, and Fox.
Apple was on like Fox
CBS,
Premier.
TVX. or-
Yeah, I'm like,
T-
what?
Yeah,
Where?
TVX.
TNT. Who still has TNT?
Dynamite!
Well, I mean, you're what, 80, 90 years old?
100.
Still
I'm
watching
going
Murder,
to
She
have to
Wrote?
throw it out there that TNT is still on my cable network. I don't
Well,
know.
and you are older than me, too, so I won't
So
say
you
your
would not
age.
Have cable and just
Oh,
stream everything.
Yeah, Ballbuster.
You're one of
How
those?
come
So-
you couldn't get TNT?
So Tom Brady might retire.
Us folks have cable. But most of the other games are televised.
I buy the streaming services.
Or they were on ESPN, the Ocho. I was like, what? That's from Dodgeball.
So yeah, like I just kind of said, so kind of moving on. So it seems like we're all in agreement. The rules seem pretty interesting. Might possibly be pretty cool.
Right. I mean, it is. So we're looking forward to it.
So last week, Patriots lost. Who's all excited for that? Me.
Oh, I was happy. I mean, it's a
Just
team you
I-
love to hate.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just shocked to hear all this talk that they're not going to re-sign Brady if he wants to play.
It's up to him too if he wants to stick there.
Why wouldn't he?
Right.
Where's he going to
Well-
go to the? Where's he going to go to the? Los Angeles Chargers, who haven't even sold a PSL ticket yet.
I also heard
The Browns.
today there's a new a breaking story on how the Titans have a real shot because
Yeah, I saw that too.
Vrabel and Brady are very close.
Yeah. Vrabel's
And he has a young receiving core there that has dynamics. He has Henry busting
But
through the
it's him
backfield.
working with a whole new offensive coordinator.
Is it-
Obviously,
is it,
the other-
though?
Obviously, what's his name's not getting the jobs anywhere, so he's going to be back.
Who's
the offensive coordinator?
McDaniels.
Oh,
McDaniels.
he's getting interviewed.
Huh?
He's supposed to take over coach as the Patriots. Apparently, Belichick. The story is he's going to the Browns, which makes no sense.
I seen that story about Browns trading like the first round pick, blah blah. Browns was another team that was rumored to be on Brady's list.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brady, if he were to leave,
if he can go to the Browns and win a Super Bowl,
I would get around I'll get behind the Browns
See,
then.
to me, it'd be more impressive if he goes out to Los Angeles and breaks the Chargers.
Which they have a good receiver in
not
Keenan
as
Allen.
impressive with the Titans.
The Titans don't impress me. They got a good running back.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, I think Tannehill's played himself into a job.
Right. I would hate to see Tannehill lose.
Why would you take him? I mean, you got good chemistry. Everything's going well.
but we've seen that with Miami. He would have one good year, then he signed the extension.
Never had a line or anything like the Titans had for him.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is never bad. Like, that's the thing. When you don't have, and everybody knows this, it's like having protectors.
Well, everybody needs to understand. He out of college, he was a receiver.
Who?
Tannehill. He wasn't a quarterback.
Oh, I thought he was.
No.
Quarterback in college.
Just like everything else in life, you're wrong.
Well, I'm not wrong about this podcast that we do. I brought on two great co-hosts that really helped.
Actually, I'll give you that, Jimbo. The only thing good decision you made in your life, but sure. So, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I think also...
I haven't heard that Titan rumor at all yet.
Oh, it's not a rumor; it's an actual article.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've heard articles of Chargers. I heard the Browns.
Indy was another
Indy
team.
was another.
I don't think he would go to Indy though.
What about where does Marcus Mariota's future lie? Is he a backup?
Yes, I think he's going to be a 1 year, maybe not necessarily a minimum contract, but just to rebuild himself.
I think he has enough talent to be a starting quarterback. I think the teams he had at certain times he got so beat up.
Yes.
I'm not ready to give up on Mariota yet.
As a Eagles backup?
No, I don't want him on the Eagles. I mean, as a starting quarterback on a
That's
team.
a rumor. Because we're going to be looking for a backup quarterback next year.
Well, fine. I mean, I would take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted him coming out when Asshole was our coach, Chip Kelly.
The best coach we had?
Huh?
The best coach we had, you're talking about?
I thought so when he came out, but man,
He
like
ain't
you
my
said, I was
potato
wrong.
chip.
But no, I actually wouldn't mind him. I mean, he's got the NFL experience.
How did he do this year at UCLA?
He actually
he wound up doing
yeah,
well.
he started off
bad,
slow.
Played Washington State, was down 28-7, and wound up winning the game in the fourth quarter, 62 to something. They wound up putting up like 40-something points in the one quarter. That offense.
Yeah, and he played in the Petco Dog Animal Bowl.
Now, just for
He
clarification,
played in a bowl, though. We never thought...
Everybody does.
Not everybody. But
Calgary State played in a bowl, too. I think it was like the Ford Fiesta, I don't know,
Calgary
popcorn
State
bowl.
or Wyoming area.
just don't make fun of my
Wyoming area
Cheez-It
plus
bowl.
Played Notre Dame in the bowl game.
I don't know what you're talking about. Notre Dame won a good bowl game.
yeah.
Against who? Iowa? God. Terrible. Get in a conference already.
You just don't like them because they're pretty.
You know, another quarterback that is definitely going to be a first time ballot Hall of Fame, Drew Brees. He's going to be a free agent too.
Right.
Where do you think he would go?
Let's talk about him for a minute.
If Brady leaves, why not?
What is Drew Brees? I think he's put up numbers. He's done a lot of good stuff, but what has he really done?
I don't know. He broke a lot of records.
Okay,
He's won a Super Bowl.
But football's about winning.
Right. He's
Yeah,
won a Super Bowl.
He's won a Super Bowl.
Okay, how many years ago was that?
Right.
And how many bad playoff games have they gotten? So for the last 3 years in a row, they've gotten eliminated on teams that should have
close games,
quote unquote, the team to beat. I don't know. He's Hall of Famer, but he just something about it just isn't.
So you're saying he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
First ballot. I don't know.
Who would you put right now in the NFL over him as a first ballot Hall of Famer besides Brady?
Over him besides Brady?
Yes.
Over Brees? That's in the NFL right now?
Right. You can keep asking the question over and over to get more time to think. We'll play the Notre Dame fight song while you think. Think about it a second.
I'd put Roethlisberger in before him.
You're fucking nuts. Holy shit! He
Maybe
triggered
for
me.
an all-time bathroom rapist.
Yeah,
You're bringing
I think he
stuff
fucking
outside.
triggered me. My brain's like.
Hey, if that's what you guys feel.
Really? You would take what stats does he have?
Let me ask you a question. Who was the best quarterback on the field Saturday for the Saints?
Breeze.
Did you watch the game?
Yes, that was pass interference. The last play of the game.
You think Kirk Cousins was better than Breeze?
No. You're missing the whole point.
Oh,
Who
wait.
is
No.
the best quarterback on the field in Sunday's game? In the Vikings Saints game.
Taysom Hill.
Thank you.
But
He's a beast.
I don't classify him as a quarter. He's a slash.
I think he's going to wind up being their quarterback.
I think
He's a free agent too. He's a free.
Hashtag.
Saints don't have a quarterback next year.
Yeah, Bridgewater's a free agent.
Bridgewater's
Don't
free
get me
agent.
wrong. Breeze is a great quarterback.
Bridgewater's going to be gone. You're going to see him starting next year somewhere. I think those 5 games that Breeze was hurt showed that he could
Oh,
still
he can
play.
win a game for you.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
I mean, he was a field general, a game manager. Like I can't knock Breeze, and I think he had a lot more chances to win more Super Bowls. If you look at the Indy game, they won, and then they were in another one. They could have easily have won. He's taken them to the playoffs for a lot of years. They've been a high contender as long as the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
What other Super Bowl were they in? They
Make-
weren't in another Super
Honestly, I
Bowl.
think it was like 2009 was the Super Bowl.
That was it. They were in one Super Bowl. They won.
Okay.
You went to the championship game. The Eagles, they should have won against Minnesota.
They did win again. Oh, with that catch, but
Right.
they lost.
They should have won this year with that illegal push-off.
Yep.
You're not going to call that a push.
Arm was extended. I mean, clear as day. His arm's like
They were
this.
both wrestling each other. You're gonna.
He was
agree
hand
with the
fighting.
call.
Vikings guy.
You can have your opinion.
No, I agree. I'm saying I agree with that call because think about it. If it was reversed, it was your team. You wouldn't want that called on you either. They were both fighting each other.
Well,
on
yeah.
that
Oh,
call.
but
As
what's
fans.
right is right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was pass interference.
So
That's what-
you
who knows
really
what
think
pass interference
Kirk
is
Cousins
anymore?
is going to do anything this week?
You never know, man. Sometimes it's that.
I mean-
you just never know what team. That's what's great about the playoffs.
Yeah.
You never know. Do I think San Francisco's making a Super Bowl? No, I don't. I think they're a good team. I think they're too young.
So who's your prediction for the Super Bowl right now?
Right now,
You say
Kansas City,
Seattle. I'm gonna put you through. I'm putting you through a freaking wall. Picking
Kansas City,
Seattle.
Seattle. If Seattle beats Green Bay this week, they're going to go in and beat the other team that they're playing. I'm telling you. Now.
If Seattle beats Green Bay, I'm going to drive to Seattle, have a little talk with
Dude,
Clowney.
Green Bay is the most overrated playoff team going right now.
Right, absolutely. I'll give you
but
that.
they
Most
do-
overrated playoff.
But
team.
they do win ugly.
They're not,
As long as-
here's what I said to you: if Seattle wins this
Yeah.
game, they're going to the Super Bowl.
I think they're going to Super Bowl. Do you think they win it? Right.
I don't
I'm
know.
still going
I don't know.
Baltimore.
It depends on who they're.
If
their
the
defense-
Ravens make the Super Bowl, or Kansas City makes the Super Bowl, and they're playing at their highest level, they have no shot.
The only
you
time,
can't ever say that. But,
the only team to me that I think is
can, and
a
I just
definite,
did.
a definite winner is Baltimore. I'll put any of the NFC teams up against them in the Super Bowl. Baltimore's going to win. If for some reason Baltimore loses, it's Kansas City or Tennessee, it possibly could be a hell of a Super Bowl.
The crazy part is when, and you guys are going to think I'm crazy for saying this, but when you're playing like Baltimore's playing right now and on these long winning streaks,
Yeah.
you're bound to have one of those games.
But the thing is,
And-
watching.
I mean, it could wind.
But that's what I said. That's why I threw out the condition
I just
that
think Kansas
if they're
City's
playing
got
at the
it this
highest
year.
level.
yeah, but
I
the,
think it's Kansas City's year. I think it's Kansas City's year.
I'm not counting them out, but Mahomes magic.
I really do.
I
think
just
it's-
being a Philly fan for so long, I know Andy Reid, and as much as I love him, he has big game problems.
too conservative.
Right.
Let's
Yes.
go back to the Philly play. What would Andy have done on that play?
Field goal.
yeah.
Thank you. Then we would have lost the game.
Right.
Um,
We're all in agreement on that.
Well, you never know. The water boy could have came out.
Yeah.
So, last week was obviously the last, not this past week and the weekend before, was last week of the season. What do they call it? Black Monday? Red Monday?
Monday, yeah.
All the firings of head coaches.
My wife has one of those once a month. Red Mondays.
Let me start with the Redskins. Now, they let Callahan go.
Interim.
Yeah. They hired Ron Rivera.
Great move.
Great move.
For them, terrible move for him.
Especially with how Daniel Snyder started off the press conference.
I don't hear how he started. It just
January 3rd, he announced Ron Rivera as the head coach. First thing I want to say to you guys is Happy Thanksgiving. And Ron Rivera is our next head coach. Happy Thanksgiving. Not Happy New Year's. Happy Thanksgiving. That is your owner of that team.
What date was it?
January 3rd.
Oh, January 3rd.
2 days after New Year's Day.
Yeah, he celebrated a little too much on New Year's Eve.
Well, he is, Jerry Jones-esque. I can see Jerry Jones doing
I think he's like
Rivera
a cousin.
is a very good coach.
No, he definitely
I just think
was.
he made I think other teams would have been more suited for him. Like a Cowboy job would have been more suited.
I think
for
the
him.
Giants would have been a better job.
A Giant would have been suited for him. To pick the Redskins, I mean, you got to go with the money.
But I'm telling you right now,
I just think it's a no-win situation.
The Redskins are going to be a totally different team if Ron Rivera could be Ron Rivera.
That's the thing. If because they've always had
Just like
at
any
a
other
minimum,
owner,
at a minimum, they've always had a decent defense. The Redskins. Now you bring Ron Rivera in,
right?
He could build that defense.
But
back
he's also
up.
going to bring in his personnel.
Yeah.
So don't let that be short.
So he did. He's just got to give him a little bit of time. I mean, they're not going to win next year.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I think they'll be better than they were this year.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 wins instead.
And I mean, he brought in Jack Del Rio as
That's
their
better.
defensive coordinator, so that's not a bad move.
I was thinking more like 8-8, but okay.
He's bringing up stand-up guys. I mean, Jack Del Rio. You listen to what he's got to
And
say.
you know what? The other thing too, I'll give Rivera kudos. First day on the job, he removed shuffleboards from the locker room, pool tables, any type of gaming stuff that these fools were playing with instead of worrying about football. He's changing the culture completely.
But he couldn't take my ding-a-ling.
I mean, he you know
things to play with.
Yeah. If you guys would have saw Alan's face, he was like, I think I'm smelling,
No,
I think I'm smelling toast
with
again.
him. I just have other thoughts going on right now.
My ding-a-ling! My ding-a-ling!
So there's that job.
Let's stick with the East here. And the Giants had probably the biggest name that they hired ever once in their franchise and probably ever in the NFL history. Joe Judge.
Who?
Joe Judge.
I know you say who, okay, but this guy could wind up working out. He said 7 or 8 years. He said 7 or 8 years coaching on the staff with the greatest.
So
coach
you're saying,
ever.
Before the show, hold on.
What does the owl say?
Who?
Who?
Before the show, we talked a little bit about this, and you said the same thing. He's been with Belichick for 7 or 8 years. So you're telling
And
me,
he was with Saban before that.
and Saban. So you're telling me if the Eagles,
Saban was great in the NFL.
yeah,
It was with college. Right? Hey, listen, if Drew Brees passes that physical,
dang oh man, dang.
if Drew Brees passes that physical and goes to Miami instead of Dante Culpepper, he never goes to Alabama.
No,
That's
he
a
would
fact.
still screw them over.
But I thought Drew Brees wasn't a Hall of Famer.
That's not what I'm saying.
But
I'm
he
not
has
talking
that
about
kind
the
of
Hall
impact?
Fame thing. I'm talking about that period of time when he was leaving San Diego. If he passes that, he would have been a Miami Dolphin. Nick Saban doesn't leave.
So, God damn it, you made me forget what I was going to ask you too.
You
Oh, I know. Okay, so you said,
I just seen the light bulb, folks.
Joe Judge 7 or 8 years with Bill Belichick as a special teams wide receiver coach. If the Eagles, for whatever reason, fired Doug Peterson tomorrow, you're okay with the Eagles hiring the water boy that's been with Belichick for 7 or 8 years?
The water is now the water boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disrespectful, Jim. That was hurtful.
Number one, I think
You're
you
on
have
a
to have
timeout.
I think you have to have decent communication skills. And the good thing about special team people and receiver people is they work with the whole team.
But let me ask you this, and here's my only defense on this whole argument is, was it really Pat Shurmur's fault?
Absolutely
No.
not.
Let's be honest with each other here. Is any coach coming into that team right now really have a fair shot?
That's why they're giving it to a young guy, because now they have leeway.
Yeah.
understand?
And it's
It's
also,
like his
in my
first year
opinion,
as a coach.
it's also a good scapegoat. Because
Thank you.
If he
Thank
fails
you.
miserably,
True.
well, we gave the
With
guy
this
a shot.
with this hire, how many times do we see in Major League Baseball teams going into, quote, rebuild seasons and just hire Joe Schmo, like for the Orioles, for example?
Who?
Exactly. They hired this coach just basically just to coach the team so we clear some I think I'm taking a stroke. Some cap space, and I say within 3-4 years this coach is going to be gone, and they'll hire Joe Girardi, some big name.
I'm upset that Pat Shurmur is not immediately back to the Eagles.
Give it time.
I think he belongs there.
And
I don't.
What? Offensive coordinator?
Where was he when he won the Super Bowl?
He was one of the assistant coordinators.
I think he was a quarterback coach at the time.
Quarterback coach.
Right.
He was on the
Which
squad. So
I'm okay with that.
So great. I'm not saying going
he
back.
might bring him back. Give him time is right. They might hire him back.
I think he was thrown in a shitty situation.
Even from
I think from the minute he got there, he had nothing to do with the Odell Beckham bullshit.
Yeah.
I think that was upper management and the ownership, and they totally decimated that fucking team.
No, I listen to I think a pretty intelligent guy every day.
Oh, I thank you.
He's into
Well, yeah, we are
he's
friends.
into the
Nice
New
to meet
York.
you.
He's into the New York sports scene and was big time in the New York sports scene and knows the Maras and knows all them. And the whole time he was thinking that Shermer wasn't going to get fired just because the Maras don't get rid of people, and it's really, like you said, it really wasn't Shermer's fault. But I guess his in-game play calling and his time management levels and
here's another reason why
started
I also think Shermer should have got another year. And I hate this just NFL wide. You just drafted a rookie, supposedly franchise
and
quarterback.
the other thing, he played pretty well this year under Shermer, the quarterback. So he did
So
now
now
you
face it, that team did better than we thought they were going to do.
Yeah. I mean,
he threw 5 touchdown passes in a game in the NFL. That's pretty good. I don't care if you're playing.
I'm high
Washington,
on
whoever it
Daniel
is.
Jones.
Yeah.
When everybody was boycotting his draft pick, I said, "Well, hold on there. Anybody ever forget and listen, I know lately he's been shit, but anybody forget a little Delaware boy named Joe Flacco?
He won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Famer.
Would you pick? Never mind. He beat me too. I was gonna say, would you pick Flacco over Breeze?
Did somebody just kickstart his lungs? Are you okay, Alan?
I'm all right. That's funny.
So other big coaching things. Let's get into that because there's a lot to talk about. We could spend days on this.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's get to the real one.
Brokeback Mountain one.
Brokeback Mountain.
Jason Garrett. Obviously, I personally would have loved him.
Baby, come back.
I would have loved to see him come back just because I need more clap.
Right. Well, I just like the Cowboys where they're at. So.
Yeah. But they
It's
turned
going to
around.
be much different with the coach they brought on.
Who did they bring on?
Mike McCarthy.
Who?
Just spent 13 years with Green Bay.
Right. What did they do?
Exactly.
I mean, I would
They
pick
made
him
the
over.
playoffs 4 times.
I would
Here's
pick
the
him.
problem, just like we just said with the Giants, though. Here's the real problem in Dallas, okay? Let's face it. It's not ever a coach. It's not ever a player. It's the upper management and that goddamn fucking owner.
And that's the thing. McCarthy is, you're right about that. Let's get into some facts. McCarthy is a pretty stubborn guy.
He is.
And,
That's why that his last season fell apart.
Meyer and all these coaches, you're not going to get a top-notch coach when the owner is in your shit every day. It's just not going to happen.
Great coaches went through there that did win, and they didn't last long because they couldn't put up with it.
Now, the one good thing McCarthy has for Cowboy-wise is he doesn't care if upper management picks the players.
Okay.
He'll coach them. He doesn't. I mean, he's involved, but
Right, coaching-wise, he's going to make them better.
Because even in Green Bay, that's what happened.
But at the end of the day, too,
players, McCarthy just coached them.
Yeah.
Did that. Will he make them a day? I think they'll be decent.
I think, but at the
But
end
it's
of the
a
day,
safe hire.
Jerry Jones is still going to be Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's still going to be Dak Prescott. And
Do you,
they have
now,
turmoil.
you know, the one thing that they said about Mike McCarthy coming on, it's going to help Dak Prescott. Do you pay him the $30 to $40 million that he's going to want?
Now, is it? Here's the other thing on that question: is it really going to help Dak Prescott? Because McCarthy did really well when Aaron Rodgers was at his peak level.
Right.
When Aaron Rodgers started to slip a little bit, even just a little bit,
Yeah.
the Packers had a bunch of losing seasons.
Is
guys.
Dak Prescott
with
true?
the so-called greatest quarterback?
My argument for the whole thing, too, is Dak Prescott really the McCarthy prototype quarterback?
I don't think so.
No.
I still chalk
He's not
Prescott.
a pure pocket passer.
I chalk him up as a... Listen, everybody. It's been a long day for us, so kind of...
So, I think it's a smart move. I do. I knew McCarthy was going to go somewhere.
It's a safe move. It's a safe
Yeah.
move.
I'll tell you what, it saved some fans because they're going to ride it high, and it's a big name.
Yeah.
We have a good friend, and he put right up on Facebook immediately, thank God, a great coach. And I wrote back immediately,
And
you really feel that way?
Let's be honest.
friend?
Let's be honest. There's only one reason why McCarthy signed it. It wasn't because of Elliott or Prescott or even the money. He stayed over Jerry Jones' house, and whatever happened behind closed doors must have been pretty damn good. I think he had Robert Kraft's.
They do everything bigger in Dallas, huh? Not in Texas.
I also heard there's a report out that before Jason Garrett can coach again, there's going to be an investigation by the NFL because he was in the bushes and had to be removed.
Now, let's
Jerry,
get to
come
Garrett.
back.
Let's get to Garrett. You think Garrett becomes an offensive coordinator somewhere?
I think so.
Yeah.
And he's a good offensive coordinator.
Right.
I mean,
If not, I see him being a head coach again in the next 3 years.
One thing I saw was,
And folks,
if
you got to
it's-
remember, there's desperate teams out there.
because listen, that was a question that was asked today when I was listening. What's the best way to get back into the NFL coaching?
Oh, offensive
taking
coordinator.
time off or going back and being a coordinator. For a different team.
He could be a
What's the best
quarterback's
way to
coach
get
for all I care. He's
I
going to
mean,
be
when
somewhere.
it depends
Will
on
we
the
take
coach.
him in Philly?
I don't know. I mean, Grow, come on, man.
Well, I mean, I might take him over Grohl,
I'll
but
take him over Grow.
but I don't want him in Philly. You're asking me, do we take? I don't. I'm not
Oh,
making the
guys,
decision. No.
Think about week one.
Yeah,
30-something points, 2 bombs to Deshaun.
Yeah.
After they were done, we didn't have that anymore. So
Yeah.
how do we really know what our offense was this year? We were
Well, and
Which
here's,
again-
here's my thing though: is
Here's
we
with
were
Grow,
ragtag all year.
with Grow is it showed me he can't adjust himself his play calling.
I thought they adjusted well at the end of the year.
It took him 15 weeks.
Here's my thing. I
For
feel,
players every week.
Yeah,
and I wanted to bring this up, is I feel like we're back in the McNabb era where we have a great team and the chance to do something again, and our fucking management is bringing back goofballs. And I love Deshaun, but here's this hasn't been talked about, and nobody else seemed to be as pissed as me.
Oh, I probably
Before
was.
mid-season, Deshaun Jackson should return for the last couple games.
yeah,
End of the season, he's going to be back for the playoffs.
yeah.
Where the fuck was he?
He would have been
That's-
back if we won this week.
Right.
That's what they said.
I have a
Well-
bridge in Brooklyn too. He's a fucking
There is
ab
a few
injury.
bridges in
Well,
Brooklyn. Brooklyn
one-
Bridge,
Right. But
One
for
he was
sale.
on the injury reserve,
yeah.
so by rule that's when it would have kicked.
And I'll
in.
actually let you pay me payments if you want.
Thanks.
The
I
Jer-
got the contract right here.
the Jerry
You jumped too.
Jerry Jones payment.
No in the Bush actions. But do you not
The
understand?
other
Like,
thing that pisses me off about upper management, and you're right, upper management has a lot to do with this because why am I seeing all these other teams, like use Tampa Bay, for instance?
Okay.
They got these receivers coming out of the woodworks.
right.
Well, because they
And
drafted.
we had one speedster, and now we're the slowest offense
And let's face it,
we need to
Alshon
draft
Jeffrey was
better or get better receivers.
Well, that's
Alshon Jeffrey was a big part of our Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't take that away from him, but I do not think he's a premier number 1 receiver.
No, he's
not
a
anymore.
number 2 guy. Not
yeah,
anymore.
number 2. But
I think he's more of a number 3 now. He's getting older and he's
He
hurt.
is.
So let's just say Deshaun comes back fully healthy. Jeffries comes back. You say he's a number 3. Who do you put above him then?
I'm saying we don't have
Go
a
ahead and
number
get
1.
somebody to put above him.
Jackson's a number 2.
Okay, so you
We need a number 1 guy.
If not a premier
You know
slot.
who we should go out and trade for? DK Metcalf.
Why not?
From what I hear, he's pretty good. This moron was telling me about him, but I don't know. I really don't listen.
Do you really think that we're going to take this aside?
Okay.
We're going to take the feelings out of it. If you can go back in time from seeing what you've seen this year, would you rather J.J. Arcega-Whiteside or would you rather DK Metcalf on your team right now?
In our offense,
I'm not impressed with DJ. Who's the receiver from Seattle?
DK.
DK Metcalf.
Metcalf.
Yeah.
Absolutely should have drafted him.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
here's
Me and my
and-
son were just talking about that the other day.
He's a big body.
He's a
He
big
is.
body.
He's fast.
And
He's got the
Whiteside,
playmaker hands.
I'm not sure about Whiteside at all. Like,
but how would we have known if we did draft DK? Would they have
even when
used?
the draft was happening, my son did say to me, "Dad,
Right. I said it.
Metcalf, I want to get."
But
this
how do you
Metcalf."
not think he would have made a difference this season?
Because we don't know how the coaching staff would use him. I've said that for weeks.
They wouldn't have been able to deny him. Like he would
They
look at
wouldn't
the.
have been able to deny him. He's just that
I'm
good.
sorry.
I'm-
and if
I
they
understand
did,
that. Yeah.
if they did, then they would have been fired.
No, they wouldn't have.
He is a freak of nature.
He-
Unpolished, but a freak of nature.
I always
gonna
said
be
I'm
around
not
for a
taking
long
that
time,
away
I
from him. It's the fact that we don't know how the coaching staff would use him.
It doesn't matter. The catch opportunities
JJ
he would have made,
all right.
he wouldn't have been an Aguilar, and he wouldn't have been
He
a
would have
Whiteside.
had more chances of receiving than he did in Seattle. And don't get me
Coming
wrong,
out of-
Seattle's more of a running team than. Don't get me wrong. I know we're
Yeah.
a running team, but I think we pass a lot more than
Right,
Seattle.
Oh, yeah,
we
we
had
do.
a lot more opportunity.
But coming out of the draft, he was strictly supposed to only be red zone wide
And
receiver.
so was Whiteside because he
No,
could
that's-
body
no,
up and
that's-
Right, and
jump
what did he
higher
do?
than everybody
DK
else.
was supposed to be this long, because of his speed, and
Speed. Holy shit! Wait a second. Did you say speed in Philly?
well, we had Deshaun.
One receiver.
For 2 games.
No, one game.
I'm
No,
sorry.
2 games.
I was
Hard. A
trying
game
to
and a
give him fucking.
a game and a
I'm getting
quarter.
abused here, people. 911 pepperoni pizza.
No,
pepperoni
it's just
pizza.
nice to have somebody with intelligence.
Well, hi, I'm right here.
It's hard.
Do you want a cup of decaf coffee?
As much as I think our
No, I tried it. It's
our
garbage,
organization
just like
misses
his
on
play.
receivers, but it's been this way for our whole life
Right.
being an Eagle fan.
I just don't want
We've
to
always
exactly.
had great running backs, great tight ends.
I don't want to fall back
and our
into
receivers have
a
just
spot
been-
where we have shit receiving core again.
But we are in that spot.
But
We've
see,
been in that spot
here's
forever.
the thing, though, with the practice squad guys. I'm not
Well, I'm
saying,
going to say the Super Bowl year we played as a team.
and yeah, and with the practice squad guys, I'm not saying we have a number one, deep threat down there. But I'll tell you what, I'll take Greg Ward, even over Jeffrey. I'll take
Right, and
Greg Ward's got to be in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
For sure.
see, I think so. I think
gotta
he
take
should replace
Aguilar's
Aguilar in
spot
the
and be our
slot.
guy.
yeah.
But at the same token, I'm telling you right now that I don't think he's the answer.
No, I will take
we
him.
have to go out and get. There's a ton. I went over with some friends today. There's
Yeah.
like almost 50 wide receivers. That
even
are
the
free agents.
you brought up
Remember
about
talking to you?
Yeah, I have other friends too.
even you just said about Tampa Bay. Goodwin from Tampa Bay is a free agent. I don't know how much he's going to be asking. Obviously, we're freeing up some.
No, there's
cap
cap room being
space.
freed up. They know we
Yeah.
need to go out and get a big time receiver.
And it
man.
can't be a
I-
Golden Tate. It can't be a Torrey
Yeah.
Smith. It can't be a washed up bum.
No.
Yeah.
We need
It's
to
gotta be
make
a young-
move.
a young
If
guy.
we want to believe in Carson Wentz, we need a
We
weapon
need to
that's
put
going
talent
to
around
grow
him
with
for
him.
1 year. Exactly. I want to see talent around him 1 year. If someone goes down, the person backing him up is going to come and be
Right,
legit.
but I also want a receiver that can grow with him.
Yeah.
grow with him. Exactly.
I don't want some old washed up receiver.
No.
Now-
So the rumor, I was talking to you guys before we did the show. We wanted to save it for this. How do you guys feel about? They're talking about that Robbie Anderson.
I mean,
the Jets.
we were rumored
Right,
to
but
be
again,
trading for
He's
him.
a speedster.
He
And
is,
he-
but
and he's
I
young.
want to see.
But how's his rollout running? How's the? I mean,
Right,
He didn't
that's the
impress me with the
problem.
Jets that much, but it's the Jets,
Yeah.
and who knows with that offense? But they're talking about bringing him in.
I'm afraid that he would be more of. He's going to be like the receiver from the Broncos. My mind just went blank. That was real high in Denver. Not Emmanuel, but the other one.
Sutton.
No. He was the big thing for 2-3 years.
Now he's
Demarius
with the
Thomas.
Jets. Demarius Thomas. He's with the Jets
Right.
now.
I feel like Anderson might have 2 seasons, but he's not the answer.
So yeah. So you
I
don't think
need
you
a
don't think he's
Now
a
there
long
are some
term
really
answer.
good receivers coming out in the draft this
But
year.
like we just said,
See, I
though,
need
we're
a
not
DK
good at drafting.
Metcalf style where
First round.
we
he's,
have to get Drew in
Yeah.
the drafting.
we have to get somebody that can grow with Carson.
Yeah.
Before
Well,
it's
that's why
too
we
fucking
need
late.
We're not number 22 or number
21.
23 in the draft, 21
Yeah.
in the draft. So here's the deal. We have to this year, instead of going like we normally do, linemen and this, I know you need a good line, but this
Yeah.
year, if there's a top-notch guy there at 20, what there should be,
Yeah.
receiver-wise, we need to take him.
Right, and we
Well-
need to really evaluate the receiver core and get somebody that, I know the combine, like, DK, everybody was like, well, I don't know, but see, he transitioned.
Well, he had problems off the field.
Yeah.
There were
Right.
red flags with him, and the Eagles never, ever like to go around people who have red flags.
Right, but
Yeah.
and look at him now.
But they
agree
didn't
with
know
you,
at the
but
time.
that might just be a perfect
Now,
fit
with
for
that
him.
being said, seeing his new piercings and stuff like that, I'm not going to say he's not going to be a diva, but you
he's
need
gonna
somebody
be.
young to grow that's big and physical.
So what if you come back on next week and we pretty much do a full Eagles?
Well, we're not
Sure.
trying to lose fans here. Jesus Christ.
We're gonna try to bring them in
We're
for
only
next
going to
week
gain
now.
fans talking about the greatest team in football, people.
So, I mean, let's be
Well, we
honest.
are, but,
there's
I'm trying to get other audience members.
there's a lot of free agents. We may have to resign of ours.
There's a
to
lot of talk.
about
So we do get off subject a lot, which is crazy.
but
We're
it's
on
good
the
though.
coaching subject still.
Well, the show is designed to be like you're part of a barroom conversation.
I think the
I'll take another Miller Lite.
I think the job that got the guy that got hired today with the biggest chance is the coach from Baylor. They gave him
Rule
like $70 million,
60
$60 million, 5 years or
with
something like
if
that.
he wins a Super Bowl, it would be the 70. Then.
$70 million. I mean, that's. I know he started Temple.
Yeah.
And he brought them to and he brought Baylor.
And you know what? Kudos to Carolina. They did it right.
That might work
This
with
is
Cam
this is
Newton,
where
though.
the Giants.
I think Cam Newton.
No, Cam's gone.
Wash.
They'll ship him out.
I think.
know about that.
I think they'll trade him
I
for.
think they'd be crazy because if you think about it, with the money he's going to get paid this year and the money the quarterbacks are getting paid,
Yeah.
he's a bargain.
Well, yeah.
He's
That's
a-
why he won't be back.
If
Oh, he's
he's
a
not-
bargain, but
listen,
there's a
if
reason
he's
he's
not
on the
injured-
discount bargain shelf.
And I'm not a big Cam guy, but if he's not injured, he's dangerous.
But there's a big if and buts.
Yeah.
But he's going to be fully healthy now.
Oh, you say that, so is Deshaun.
So
He's a running quarterback. The way the league's going, we see the refs don't Brady-ize him, and when he gets trounced. So what's the chances of him staying healthy?
I don't know. What's the chances of him not? There's a good chance. If
But
he
I
gets
think there's a
healthy,
better chance
he
for him
can
getting
lead
hurt.
your team
Yeah.
somewhere.
So I think that'll be a good topic for next
Right.
week. If you want to come back.
Absolutely, I'll be back.
Worst case, you can phone in. Our number is 555. Go fuck yourself. So
And then there's one coaching job left.
the Browns.
The good old worst of the worst. Never going to get out of the shitter.
Yep.
Never say never.
The Browns.
Yeah, hopefully,
I'd like to see the Browns do something.
hopefully next week. By the next week, they have their head coach and
Now here's an interesting.
Paul Kennedy could announce it.
Right.
Who do you think is going to be coach?
Josh McDaniel.
Nope.
Unless
I am calling 100% Jason Garrett.
He's not even hired. He's not even in for an interview.
they requested for it though.
I don't think he goes to the Browns.
I don't think he's. I
don't think he leaves. I don't think Brady leaves. I think they're not going to leave the way they got knocked out of the playoffs.
I think McDaniels is a great coordinator, but I do not see him transitioning to a head coach.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those guys that, as a coordinator, he's a mastermind.
Yeah.
But when it comes to taking over all the duties, it falls through.
They need a guy, a very sturdy guy that's going to lay the law down and just be like, this is how it is. Baker, Fag, Mayfield, shut your mouth.
I've never
Till you get
liked
good, keep your mouth shut.
I don't condone any faggotry.
I've never liked Mayfield.
I've been best friends with a homosexual for years, Mr. Jimbo here, and I am not opposed to...
Wait, hey! Took me a second there to...
I just...
I get it. I mean, it's going to be a lot of shakeup. But
Yeah.
I think the Browns had a team to be way better than they were, and I don't know if it's actually the head coach's fault.
Yeah.
I might say I might agree with Jimbo on this, that
Whoa!
Baker...
Stop the presses! Stop the presses! Where's Rexington? We need him to...
This just in, Jimbo is still
Wait.
in the closet.
Rexington, how'd you get into studios here? Not
I
studios,
was
but
standing right
studios.
next to you the whole show.
I thought I felt... Never mind.
It was me, senor.
Ah, son of a bitch! All right, so yeah, I think we gotta wrap this up. We'll save these topics for next week. I think we got
to make us
some.
jump all over the place, but that's just...
What's that?
No, it was good talk.
say-
So.
knows.
I didn't hear you. What?
Said sorry, I had us jumping all over. the
No,
place
you really,
on a bunch of different
we
topics.
really weren't.
No, that's
When
good.
it pops
Yeah.
in the
What
brain,
the hell
it
are you
comes out.
apologizing for, you
Yeah.
pussy?
All right, so
I guess
like
somebody
I
else
said,
is in the closet.
this will probably be it for this week. I didn't say it in the beginning. We actually have.
Nope. So what do you think
Oh,
about
wait,
the...
wait. Wait, where's my little button? little button.
Listen, I can replace you with Juan.
We interrupt this program with breaking news. This just in. Moments ago. We now go live to our reporter.
Rexton Telzall's not here anymore.
Yes, it's your good friend Jimbo here, and I forgot to announce in the beginning of the episode, but we actually, breaking news, have a official website that I want everybody to go over and visit. StayTunedSports.net. We got merchandise on there, how you could get in contact with us, how you can listen to us, all that stuff. I said 2 weeks ago before the New Year's that we have a lot of stuff in the pipeline, and Juan, get off the mic.
Oh, sorry, senor.
But yeah, no, this year there's definitely gonna be a lot more content as far as merchandise and other things too. But definitely head over to StayTunedSports.net.
This show
Also,
is brought to you by Pepto-Bismol.
yeah, well, drinking your
Ole
Coronas.
for holes.
Head over to Twitter. Follow us there at ST Sports Podcast. Follow myself at Jimbo ST Sports. If you want to follow Shoulders, just look for him on our follower thingy.
And they'll be adding the coolest one of all, Allentown.
Allentown's here. We
Right.
want to thank him for being on.
Absolutely. Hopefully he's here more often. I've been trying to make him the third leg of the tripod here,
I'm in.
so we have a real round table. But you know,
So till next week, this is your good friend Jimbo.
this is Shoulders.
In Allentown.
Peace out.